Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Fadeaway. This episode, we're going to be going through our fantasy teams in our six-person fantasy league. So, a lot of these picks are going to be high end, and we're going to have a lot of good players. So, Ryan, if you want to start us off here.
Yeah, man. So my quarterback is Tom Brady. I traded for him with Vinny, and we can get into that trade a little bit more later. My starting running backs are David Montgomery and Josh Jacobs. Went with those dudes. They were kind of later picks, but I feel like they're good value guys. I think they're going to have good years, a lot of touches, each of them, and that's really the name of the game. Tyreek Hill and Justin Jefferson, my two wide receivers. Those dudes just ball out. They're two of the best receivers in the game. And then my tight end is Travis Kelce. Not really much to be said. It's Travis Kelce. And then at flex, I have George Kittle, which is the name of my team, Kelsey Kittle. I snagged him, my third pick. I mean, I thought tight ends are hard to get, so why not have the two best in the game? My defense is Denver Broncos, and my kicker is Justin Tucker. I mean, Tucker's consistent, and the Broncos are going to be the best D in the league. And then on the bench, I got, to rattle them off quickly, I got Dak Prescott, Allen Robinson, Chris Godwin, Kareem Hunt, Robbie Anderson, Washington football team defense, and Jamar Chase.
Jamar
Chase.
I'll go up with my team next. LMMT. We'll keep the name under quick disclosure for the credibility of this podcast. So my starting quarterback, we've got Kyler Murray. I'll talk about who I could sub in later in the season. He's on my bench right now, though. But to get back into it, my running back, with my first overall pick, I got Dalvin Cook. I think that with Kirk Cousins, he's like in basketball, we call a brick. So, yeah, I don't like that this year. Ezekiel Elliott, he's in the best playing weight since high school. I think that he'll have a decent year. Dak's coming back. They still have the O-line. Keenan Allen, that was another bogus pick for me. Mike Evans, that's Brady. TJ Hawkinson, who's questionable right now. Right when I was about to pick George Kittle, I had him taken right out of my hands. Najee Harris at the flex position this year. Picked him up around 14th, 15th overall, second round pick. I think he's going to have a breakout year. Number one back on Pittsburgh. Hope he does something. My defense.
They're pretty shaky offensive line in Pittsburgh, but go ahead.
I know, but it's a reception league, and you got Najee Harris to dump off to in the flat, so that's gonna look nice. My defense, I took the Browns. I'm still high on that team right now. I think that they're definitely gonna have the best defense in football, not Denver. Hot take right there.
I think Denver Broncos are gonna have the best defense in the league.
I disagree with both of you.
Oh boy,
who's gonna have the best defense in the league?
We'll wait till I go over my team. I got him on my team.
Okay.
Look.
In my opinion, being a Lions fan, and he had a nice tenure with the Denver Broncos, I picked the most consistent kicker behind Adam Vinatieri of all time, and Matt Prater. Quick bench overview. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's going to be a nice sub back just in case one of these guys goes down. I mean, he's super durable. Came out of LSU, had great numbers last year as a rookie. I think he'll have a great time with Mahomes as the number one back over there because Le'Veon Bell got his ass kicked the fuck out. Then we've got CeeDee Lamb, another great backup. Hope that he has some numbers. I still don't see him doing too much with Amari Cooper and Dak with that coming back. Odell, still questionable.
Why don't you see him doing much? I don't get that.
I just don't see him doing anything in a fantasy starting him compared to Keenan Allen and
Why?
Mike.
Dude, they're gonna throw the ball a lot.
But you think that they're gonna you think that CeeDee Lamb on a consistent basis is gonna put up more points than Keenan Allen with Justin Herbert?
Probably not.
Evans with Tom Brady. Brady's going to be clearing out, and I have Najee Harris as my flex because I'm trying to get the running backs this first week. So
Yeah.
I'm keeping CD on the bench. I just don't think that
Who's
he's gonna have
Pittsburgh
enough to
playing
stay
week
on my
one?
squad. Pittsburgh's playing in week 1. Sorry, just give Buffalo. So that's another thing I'll have to work out. But I mean, you also have Tampa Bay with the best defense, like from last year coming in. They re-signed everybody, and they're playing CD Lamb's Cowboys first week. So I don't see that CD Lamb's going to do good. My backup tight end Gronk, older, doesn't have as many touches now because they have so many options on the Buccaneers for wide receivers. Backup running back on my bench, AJ Dillon, just picked him up at the end. J.K. Dobbins is who I traded for with Ryan Craig for Jamar Chase, and I think that's going to be a great pickup this year. I think that we'll be able to put him in for Najee.
Yeah,
And,
I think I made out like a bandit on that trade. To be honest, I got Tom Brady and Jamar Chase for essentially J.K. Dobbins because uh, Stafford won't really ever hit your starting lineup. I don't think so.
Stafford had some of the best passing seasons on the Detroit Lions. I think that that's going to be you're completely underlooking him right now. And I think that he's
I
going to
have a lot to say about
break
Matt
out.
Stafford. I don't think he's a great player. I don't think he's
Wow.
even that good.
That's a hot take. You must have not been watching Lions football games for the last 8 years, watching God like LeBron take some shitball team into the first round of the playoffs and almost win that game against Dallas.
But he didn't. He always loses. That's his problem.
I mean,
That team he took into Dallas. That team had the third-ranked defense in the league that year, and he lost. So this myth,
dude, who was protecting him? Second year Frank Ragnow.
This narrative that Stafford has never had anybody is bogus.
He had Calvin Johnson with a terrible
Golden Tate, Reggie Bush. And then he had a third-ranked defense in the league, and he loses.
He had Golden Tate and Reggie Bush, or not Reggie Bush, but when he had Golden Tate and Marvin Jones, he took that team to the playoffs. And you know what?
For Detroit,
that's amazing. To a 13-3 Dallas Cowboys team with Dak Prescott emerging.
When was this? No, that didn't happen. Dude.
The first season that Dak was in the league, they went 13-3 and played.
They played Seattle that year, and they lost to Seattle.
Yeah, but they played Detroit in the first round and lost. I mean, won.
No, dude, they played the Lions when Tony Romo was there, and then the dude. Remember, they hit him in the Stafford hit the dude in the back of the football.
Okay. I thought it was
called it
they
back.
They were still one of the best ranked teams, and then they went back and forth in the first half, and it was like 21-21 at halftime, and we ended up shitting our pants in the second half.
That year, dude, the Lions that year were 9-4, and then they finished 9-7 or something, and then they lost to Seattle.
7 games, right at the start of the season. We were doing pretty good.
Yeah, but Stafford shits the bed towards the end of the year all the time. That's his problem. This year, first 5 games,
he'll 9 hits on the quarterback a game.
Here's what's going to happen: the first 5 weeks of the year, he'll be a beast, and then the Rams will shit the bed. And I already know who Jalen's defense.
I think Stafford's in a very good situation right now. I think this is his opportunity to show that it wasn't him with the Lions, and we'll see this upcoming season how he does in that new fit team. On my roster, though, I got the man Aaron Rodgers slinging at QB. I know you guys have seen the videos of him on Instagram dotting up those nets. Running backs, I went with Derrick Henry at the 5th pick. I was kind of surprised he fell to me because I was going to go with Devontae Adams at 5, to be honest with you. But then Derrick Henry fell, and I was like, I got to scoop Derrick Henry right here. I think a lot of people are overlooking how good he could be this season. Do I think he'll produce at the same rate he did last season? No, because he's probably going to get a ton less carries. But Julio Jones on one side and A.J. Brown on the other is going to cause a lot of defenses to have to focus on that. So a lot of teams can't run commit on Derrick Henry like they have in the past. So Derrick Henry is going to be able to find those gaps, and I think he'll have another pretty productive season that people might be overlooking. I got Aaron Jones.
More efficient season. You know,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
exactly, man. I know what you
Aaron
mean.
Jones fell to me. I wasn't really trying to get Aaron Jones and this Packers stack that I'm about to unveil, but Aaron Jones fell. I had to scoop him up, RB2. And then Devontae Adams, the guy that I wanted at 5, ended up falling. And I don't blame Ryan for the strategy because I might have done the same thing. He went 2 tight ends, allowed me to get Devontae, and I couldn't be more happy. Devontae in a PPR
That's who I was
league.
gonna take. Was Devontae Adams right
Devontae
there
in a
too.
PPR league is going to be unreal. Super
Yeah.
happy with that pick. This next guy is huge sleeper. I think Robert Woods, you guys were just talking about the Rams. I think Stafford's going to propel his game. Woods was killing it with Goff, and now he's got Matthew Stafford. I think Woods will have, he'll have a similar season to last, if not better, and that's why I took the chance on him because he had, 260 fantasy points. It was 245 last season. I think he could get to 260, maybe 270 if he has an unreal season with Matthew Stafford. I think minimum he gets back to the 240 spot, which I like to take the chance on. Next up, tight end.
Not to cut you off, Jalen, just to set the record straight. Week 7, when I do play the Kelsey Kittle team, I will be starting Matthew Stafford for all my viewers, just to rub it in.
I like it.
Thank you.
Next
Well,
up,
it's a free win.
You wish.
Next up at tight end, though, there's a clear top 3 at tight end. Kelsey Kittle. I knew I had to go out and get Waller. I had to get one of the top 3. Darren Waller, I actually really like. I probably would have taken Waller over Kittle, so I'm very happy with that. I think
Isn't he questionable for week 1?
he might be. I think he's going to play, though, and if he doesn't play week 1, he'll be back week 2. I got a backup, though, that I'll be introducing here that I'm not too worried about playing if Waller's out, though. He's in an offense with Derek Carr, who he's going to be getting a ton of receptions. I don't know who else on that Raiders team that Derek Carr is going to be throwing to, so I really like Waller there. Next up, Lockett.
Henry Ruggs, Madden legend.
Madden legend.
Yeah.
Year 2 for him. We'll see how he does.
Hopefully he makes a leap because they spent a high round pick on him, as they do with a lot of guys that really shouldn't be picked like that, like Alex Leatherwood.
Yeah, that was a pretty big reach on Leatherwood there. I got Lockett. I think Lockett is falling in a ton of drafts, and DK is just skyrocketing. And I don't know why. I think they will be very similar. They're going to be splitting receptions. Lockett's been balling forever with Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson knows where to put the ball to get it into Lockett's hands. DK will probably have a better fantasy season, but I do believe it'll be close between him and Lockett. Next up, Rams defense. This is where I disagreed with you guys. Rams defense, I don't know how you guys are going off of them. Even if they're not the top defense, I think they'll be top 3, and I'm perfectly okay with that because I think I was the last person to take a defense in the league, so cool with that.
Well, I have multiple reasons on why the Rams defense won't be.
Go ahead, and then I'll finish my team.
They were the number 1 defense last year, so statistically. So look at the history of number 1 defenses. They always regress naturally the next year somewhat. Now they lost their defensive coordinator, Brandon Staley, who's the Chargers coach. They lost John Johnson and Troy Hill. Those are 2 key players on their team from last year. And Leonard Floyd, they signed to a big contract. He's not that good of a player. So he had like 10 sacks and he had like 7 versus the Seahawks. That shows you in itself how effective he is versus the rest of the league. But for those reasons, I'm out.
I do agree with you that they did lose a couple pieces, but last season, Terrell Burgess, before he got injured, showed signs that he could be that replacement, and I think that's why the Rams were so okay with losing John Johnson. They also have Jordan Fuller, who's another rookie who showed potential that he could be a great safety for them, or maybe they even play one at linebacker. I think they have some pieces. I do agree with you that most of the time when when somebody peaks, just like Derrick Henry did last season, they're bound to fall off. But I do believe Rams will still finish top 3, minimum top 5 defensive team, and I was cool with taking them at my pick because I think I was the last person to take defense, like I said, and they just kind of fell there. Jason Sanders at kicker, he finished first again, and obviously, he's probably not going to finish first again, but I do see him maybe finishing top 5, and I was cool with that because I was the last person to take a kicker again. Bench squad, I'm going to run through it really quick. I got 3 running backs here that I think could potentially break out and have a good season that I might slide in if they do perform very well or if somebody gets injured. I got Antonio Gibson and DeAndre Swift, who lead backs on their team, going to get a lot of carries on pretty mid-tier offensive. Lions offense sucks, so Swift's going to be a main running back for them. And then Darrell Henderson with Cam Akers out. I think Darrell Henderson slides right in there, main back, and he could potentially break out. Got Robert Tonyan completing the Packers stack, and we'll see. I mean, I doubt he's going to ever be put in over Waller, but never know. And then
bye week,
it's pretty much why he's on the squad.
Yep.
Chase Edmonds, Arizona, another running back that could just potentially break out. I picked up Michael Thomas with the last pick. Maybe he comes back, maybe he doesn't. I don't really care. And Matt Ryan for Aaron Rodgers bye week. Picked him up.
Sounds like a good squad, but I think Kelsey Kittle is the team to beat in the league. The 2 tight end duo, the 2-headed monster, I think will torch the league.
We'll see. I mean, I'm super excited for this season. I really like my team as well, and
this just in, live trade has been proposed. I've proposed one of my bench players in CeeDee Lamb, who I also do not think is going to have the best of years fantasy-wise. And I'm going to roll the dice and bring in former Lion Kenny Galladay with Daniel Jones and hope that he has a pretty good next 4 weeks, gets out of this injury questionability, and stays as number 1 spot in New York in a rebuilding phase. So how do you guys feel about that trade proposal?
What did you give up?
CeeDee Lamb for
just
Kenny Galladay.
CeeDee Lamb straight up for Kenny Galladay?
That's what I want.
Who did you propose that to?
Vincente, one of the friends of the pod.
He might
accept that.
Yeah.
That's what I knew. I was thinking about that. I want Kenny Galladay because if you guys don't,
I don't know why you think he's not going to have a good year fantasy wise. Though I can see why you don't think he'd have as good of a year as Keenan Allen.
He doesn't have enough years with Dak Prescott to take him over Amari Cooper on anything. I mean, he's not the tallest receiver. He's like 6'2", correct? And I just don't think
that's big, bro. 6'2",
I don't
nice
think
size,
work
bro.
out. I mean, I might shit the bed on this. But I just don't have CeeDee Lamb having the best
CeeDee's going to play a lot of slot, and
when you have Amari Cooper on the other side.
Well, you keep forgetting Michael Gallup too. Michael Gallup's a really good player. So
you have so many, and Dallas does have a couple plays where they'll hit big. I've seen that with Dak a couple of times.
Dude, CD had like 900 yards with Andy Dalton last year.
Okay,
you don't think he's going to get like
1,200, could probably have like 1,500 yards this year.
Oh no, I don't know about that. I mean, if I were you, I might go back on that trade really quick because Kenny Galladay just got injured like a week or 2 ago. You don't know when he's playing.
He's always injured, Kenny Galladay.
And his QB is Daniel Jones.
One of the best up-and-coming receivers. I think he's slept on. If he can get through...
Kenny Galladay, he's like 28 years old. That dude ain't up-and-coming, bro.
Plus Danny Dimes. I mean, I don't trust Danny Dimes.
I don't know how to say it. I like Lions players. I'm keeping the Lions player because he was basically going to be our next big guy, and he left.
Dude, I mean, it's your games to lose, really. not mine. So
I'm not losing games. I hope you know that.
well, that'll do it for us. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Fadeaway podcast. Tune in next time for the next video where we're going to have some debate topics. See ya.
Oh, and
Peace.
last thing from the House of Hot Takes, if you guys were thinking that plus 500 bet on the Kansas City Chiefs was going to win you some money this year, you're wrong. Super Bowl, I'm taking the plus 20,000 on the Detroit. No, I'm just kidding. You guys have a great night tonight. Go
Like and
Lions.
subscribe.
Hammers over
Turn post
7.5
notifications on.
wins.
And have
We
a good one.
update weekly.